Hi everyone, today I'm going to show you how to make this really cool new jet I made. It's called the F-37 Vigilante. There was another plane that I posted about that I said I would make, but it had two machine guns, but I'm ditching it in favor of this one, which has basically the same features, but I did a lot better. So this has a radar dome. It has a retractable landing gear. It has two missile racks. It has 4 air intakes, 2 on the bottom, 2 on the top right there. Really cool fins. Really cool model design. Everything. And probably the coolest part about this that I haven't seen from any other creators is it has 2 retractable machine guns right here. So I love putting machine guns on planes, but this time I actually managed to make 2 of them on the same one, and they're both retractable, like my other ones. This actually shouldn't be as hard as most of my other planes, but you are going to need a sheet of A4 paper. If you're like me, you live in America, you're usually only gonna get printer paper, which is like 8.5 by 11. So if you want to cut it into A4, what you're gonna have to do is you're gonna have to fold it like this, right? So fold one edge to the other. Then you're gonna fold this edge to here. And after you do that, you're gonna open it up and you're gonna fold, see this point? You're basically gonna fold it like that. Obviously it's gonna have to be even, but so you take it from that point, you cut this part, you cut that off. So I'm gonna ditch that paper for now, actually for the whole video. And also it has a good locking mechanism, and canards, obviously. It shouldn't be as hard as my other planes. Without further ado, let's get to work. First, I'm gonna fold both diagonals right here. After that, you're gonna fold it in half, and then you're gonna fold it like this. After that, we're gonna make a water bomb base. So we're gonna fold this edge to these corners. So we're gonna make our water bomb base. Like that. And then we're gonna squash fold these 2 flaps. After that, we're going to pull this bit of paper out. You obviously have to make sure these creases line up. And now what we're going to do is we're going to go to the other side. And there's already a crease here from when we folded in half. So we're just going to fold back up on that. Okay, so we're gonna fold back up on that. Now we're folding this corner to here, and this edge have to match, of course. Now we're gonna fold through here. I need to move it a bit down. Right, so it goes through these two diagonals. You have to match them with each other. And then like swing the flap down. Honestly, I was gonna wait till later to post this plan because I just figured it out yesterday. But I was like, I already basically got, this is definitely the most detailed plane I've ever made. It has basically all the features that I've ever tried putting on a plane, except for like afterburners. So I didn't really want to stay to figure that out. It looked fine, so I'm keeping it this way. Canards you could probably like customize yourself if you wanted. If you don't like the exact shape of them. Now I'm gonna fold this up. And then we're gonna fold this way. Yeah, I don't think, it's kind of hard to get these right, these folds right. Okay, then you're gonna do, we have to kind of restructure this a bit so we could get the cockpit and the radar dome. So we're gonna basically unfold it, and then it's gonna have to be like this, and we're just gonna push this up and put it underneath that flap. So yeah, we gotta do a bit of restructuring right there. Because this is going to be our cockpit, and this right here is going to be the radar dome. Okay, so now we're going to fold this over. You know, it's better to try to keep this as tight as possible to the paper. Just that's a little hard because see, sometimes when you fold it down, it goes out a bit. Now we're gonna do a swivel fold. Like that, and push this back here. So basically what I did there is, it's okay if the, oh sorry, I thought there was like some sort of bug that flew across my wall. Oh my god, must be seeing things. Okay, so basically you're doing a swivel fold, you're pushing in that layer, and yeah, so you're also shifting this part right here. Right, and we're gonna do this one as well. Okay, so we're swiveling that out. It's getting a bit messy right now, but I'm gonna fix it because we're gonna have to unfold this anyway, right here. Okay, what we're gonna wanna do is a bit complicated. How I do this before. Okay, right. So we need to kind of open this up, right, and push, because we need to separate these two layers. So kind of restructure this a bit. Push this in. And here, we need to separate this layer from that one. So you're gonna open it up. Structure it like that. And then also you're gonna need to open that up and just push that part out. Like that. All right, push that out. So since that side got a bit messed up, so I'm gonna redo it. All right, so now we got those two layers separated. We're gonna fold this in. Okay, now that we've got this, you know, those were a couple of hard steps. We're gonna fold these two triangles up. And what always happens to me here is a pocket opens up there because so I gotta pull this up a bit more. And fold this. And then we're pulling up this layer. I'm gonna take a pause to fix that. Okay. Now we're gonna fold this to here. We're gonna take this crease, pull it up. Then we're gonna fold this to here. Gonna go on the other side of the plane. We're gonna free that layer. And then we're gonna undo all this. And we're gonna do the same stuff on the other side, basically. So pull this kind of rabbit ear looking flap up. fold this to the other side. And pull this layer up, right? Release this layer. Okay, now we're going to fold this. Fold this up and fold this. Okay, now that we've got both of these unfolded, we're gonna come here and we're gonna make the cockpit. So first what we're gonna do is we're gonna fold up to the nose section. So we're swivel folding this up just to this radar dome section. And then we're basically folding to the center. And the fold should end right there at that crease. Okay, so we've got that. That's basically our cockpit right there. Okay, now we're gonna take this and this. We're gonna unfold this layer right here. And now we're gonna take this nose and we have to fold this edge all the way into the center and open up that pocket and fold all the way to that corner. The wingtip is going to be best when it's halfway in between here and that crease right there. So we're going to keep it like that. Do it to the other side. Now we're going to do like that. And now what we're going to do is we have to basically push this in. And while we're pushing that in, we have to move this. You see we have to swivel this part like to the edge of the plane. Okay, so now we're going to do the same thing on the other side. We're pushing this all the way in. Now we're gonna cover that up with these two layers. Next up, what we're gonna do is we're gonna unfold these layers temporarily. So we'll fold them out, and we're gonna fold this to the top edge. So we're gonna go here and fold from this corner where that catches, and we're gonna fold it to that crease right there that we just made. And we're gonna fold it over, making a new crease. And we're gonna do the same thing over here. Then we're gonna basically make like a preparatory crease where we're basically just doing a petal fold. And I'm going to fold in on these like that. We're not keeping it this way. We are just making these creases in preparation, and then we're going to refold on them later. We're going to fold here, fold this edge up to this crease, inside reverse fold it. Same thing here. Inside reverse fold. And then we're inside reversing, but it has to go all the way to that corner. Then we're folding on this crease right here. Folding this edge to that edge. And then we're folding in on here. And then inside reverse that. Folding that to this corner. We're going to move this here. This should be perpendicular with the center, parallel with this line. And only fold is just a preparatory crease. Only fold till that layer ends. Then kind of inside reverse folding that. Now what we're going to do is we're going to fold this, kind of want to fold it along this line so that we could basically, because the thing we want to figure out is this flap is going to make our gun. So first we're going to inside reverse this, make like a rabbit ear fold right there. Because we want to see this crease and we want to pull it up from that point. And we're going to drag it right along there. So it's this crease right here. You know, maybe I should zoom in for this part. The crease right here is going to go along that point. So like that. Then we're going to, what's it called? Fold this in half. Squash fold that. Because that's going to be our gun. So this is the way I usually do it. Obviously, if you watch these videos before, I have like a longer gun where I fold this tip down a third of the way, and I have a shorter gun. If you want to actually have the, how do I say it? If you want to have actually the cannons, like the individual cannons for the, where the bullets are supposed to come out, fold this down all the way. But if you want to have something that actually looks like a gun, but it's not going to have like cannons that you could shape, only fold a third of the way, and I'm going to show you how to fold a third away. A third of the way. Sorry. So for this, next step we're going to do is we're going to fold like that. And I think that's kind of weird. Oh yeah, you might want to actually fold a bit short of that. right? Alright, so you might want to fold a bit short of that so that you could actually crease it. So it's actually not going to fold all the way up, just to about there. So see, right at that point. So we're folding it to there, and after we fold it to there, we're going to fold from there to that corner. Then obviously we're folding this flap to match, and we're going to inside reverse fold this. Okay, it gets a bit messy, but there we go. Now basically we're going to fold this all the way down from corner to corner. And we're going to fold this in 1/3. And we're going to fold it back 1/3 as well. We're going to unfold all that. So if you want to have the individual barrels, then what you're going to do is you're going to inside reverse it, and then you're going to inside reverse the 2/3, and then you're going to tuck that flap in again. That's not what I usually do, because I want it to look like an actual gun. So I'm going to take this flap, and now we have these 2 creases, and I'm going to fold down. I'm going to fold down so it lands on the center. I'm going to fold to one side. Now I'm going to fold, inside reverse fold, like that. Right? So that's gonna be the gun, but I'm not gonna have the barrels. I wonder if I should even show how to do the barrels today. I think I will. Barrels is basically same thing, but you fold that all the way down, and then you fold in, and you're gonna have to tuck that. It might come out, but basically the point of the barrel part is you're tucking that in, and then you're tucking this in again. So now you've got the actual barrel that you can roll. Like that. But problem with that is it's not as long as I'd like my gun to be. It looks a bit weird. So you could have that, or you could have the non-barrel option. It just looks better. But you're not going to be able to roll it. Okay, I've spent enough time on that already. Okay, so that's side one of the gun. Let's move to side two. Probably going to fold it like that, so I can get a better view of it. Grab a pin. So really small folds. Necessary. Okay, so now we have that gun. If you wanted to like retract it, so see, obviously it works here. When you do the jet fold, it's going to be facing straight. If you wanted to retract it, you'd probably push it up like that. So you could push it up into the canard. This layer might get in the way of that because that's gonna be the front air intakes. But yeah, basically, so that's not the finished canard yet. I'm gonna put this in front of the canard for now, because what I want to do is a tricky step, and I want the gun out of the way. What we're doing is we're folding on our previous crease. Remember the one we made before? And folding up like that. All right, so we're folding in, and then we're folding those layers out. Folding in on these. Obviously, that layer has to be pushed up also. And we're folding out right there. And then what I really wanted to figure out is how to get this the nose cone to be a bit shorter. So I guess what I do there is, oh, this paper is very delicate. So I'd have to use a pin. Yeah, because you don't want that to rip. So we could get, by doing that, we could get it a bit shorter. But first, before we shorten it, we have to go do the other side. I know that's a bit of hard work, but okay, so we're folding in right there. Right, so then we basically folded that down. to fold that in. Fold in on here. I'm gonna try to speed this up. So pull that to there. And then squash fold that in half. Obviously you're going on check. So we're inside reversing that, swiveling that, and it has to go all the way to here. Okay. Open this up. And we're folding a third. So basically folding 2/3 and the 1/3 back. Copy it on this side. Okay, like that. Unfold. Fold 1/3 down. Now we're gonna go to this side. Inside reverse those 2/3. Inside reversing that. Add a pause for a bit there because it was taking me way too long. Yeah, it was taking me way too long to get this gun made. So I had to pause for a good minute. Okay, now we're doing the same thing here for the canard. Unless you want the canard to look like this, don't do this step. I mean, do this step. Making the nose cone shorter is going to be very difficult. And all this just to shorten a bit. That's kind of crazy. So we're basically, I didn't even do this on the original, but over here we kind of want to swivel. Kind of want to swivel it up a bit. Okay, this is getting wildly uneven. Yeah, I'm gonna have to put a stop to that. So yeah, I'm gonna pause this one sec. Okay, so I just kind of had to push that in. So after you do that, you're gonna want to push that in. Whether you want to go through all that just for the nose to be a bit better, that's totally up to you. But hey, I'm happy with what I did here. It's just very complicated, so if you don't got a lot of time, you don't got to do that stuff. But now, okay, sorry. Now you're basically folding to kind of like a bit past there. So you could fold that part back. All right, you're swiveling it. This had a bunch of tiny folds. Swiveling it there. You could I kind of like this look over that. You could customize the canards pretty well, but then you're gonna have to open that up. Kind of push that in there. Oh, this one I actually can't even push it back in. It's being blocked. Yeah, whatever. Mine's gonna be a bit uneven. Usually you're supposed to like push that back in, but whatever. Now we are gonna fold this up. Fold that part up. Fold that part up. And now we're finally coming back to this. And that should keep basically this is basically supposed to keep these air intakes in place. They might be moving out a bit. Okay, so we could move them a bit further up. I'm gonna go tape this up a bit because it got a bit wonky. Okay, so I got that patched up a bit. I'm gonna take these guns back out. Okay, now we're gonna get to the actual rest of the body. And first we gotta fold this up and fold this up. Oh, now there's a big shadow. Well, that's an even bigger shadow, but... Okay, now it looks pretty normal. Okay, so fold both of those up. Fold this a third of the way in. Fold this a third of the way in also. And then inside reverse fold it. Now fold on that crease, and as you can see, it's going to go a bit past that layer, which is exactly what we want. And then we're going to tuck that underneath all the layers. So right, so exactly what we want for it to go a tidbit past that, so we could tuck it under the layers. Great. Now we're gonna inside reverse fold that. Fold this point to there. Same thing here. And inside reverse this again. Okay, now we're inside reversing these. This is actually the same concept like I used in this plain archer. All right, so we're folding this and we're locking that down. Fold that to there, kind of a swivel fold, and fold that to have it touch that corner. It should touch like that crease right here, right there. around. We might have to make an adjustment to it in a second, because next up we're gonna do kind of a tricky fold, because you need to go in here and fold starting from all the way inside. So it's starting all the way inside and goes till this is like parallel. This edge is about parallel with that edge. And we're going to move this landing gear far enough so that it could be like tucked underneath here. That's where we're going to leave it for now. And now we're folding up from corner to corner. Fold that. Fold that, and then folding it this way. And then we're reversing it and folding it that way. Technically, I feel like I might be able to make, let's see, an afterburner, maybe. Let's just see how it would work. It'd definitely be very small. It looks like I actually might be able to. Hold on. Go back in there, landing here. Yeah, it looks like you actually could. Now, you're going to have to shape it a bit weird. I'm going to pause it to work on the shaping. Okay, so I ended up getting it. I'm going to show it on the other side. So it's an okay looking afterburner. I'll show it on the other side. Not here. So just wait until I show you what to do on this side, and then you could repeat it to there. Fold that from all the way in there. To about there. Fold that up. Okay, here I'm going to teach you how to actually do this. How to make the afterburner. A very tiny afterburner. But basically what you want to do is you want to squash fold this. A really, really small flap of paper. Fold in on here. what we're doing is on one of the sides, I'm going to go this side. We have to kind of fold that flap out. And we're going to lock it in place. We're going to lock it in place because we're not folding all the way in. Kind of folding in like that. Oh, my bad. We actually, no, we don't fold in that side. We fold in the other side. My mistake. We don't fold in this side. We have to actually fold is this. Yeah, so we're going to fold that in. Okay, so tiny fold. Oh my god, the video is getting long because I've been doing all these tiny folds. Right. So it's got to be like that instead. So now we've got the afterburner. So we're going to have that locked down. Might not hold. So yeah, you basically have to fold that flap down so it gets locked. And then you're going to have an afterburner right there. So yeah, we have an afterburner. Right, so this flap goes above, and then you could open it like that. Afterburner, right. We're almost done with the plane. I think we're almost done. What we're going to do now is we're going to want to fold this. You're not folding it directly in half. Instead, the gun somehow ended up under there. That's a whole big mess in there, but you could just kind of push that in because it's not going to get in your way. You're folding it basically. Follow this line right here because you want this specific line to be parallel to it. Then you're going to fold in right here. Right, so that's one of the missile racks. You kind of inside reverse to that corner, and it hits that corner also. Okay, right. Now we could start opening up that. If you want, you could also... This is pretty hard to shape because of all the extra paper around it. So usually what you need to do is you kind of need to roll this also to make it look good. Okay, now final step. The jet fold and the locking mechanism. So basically what we're doing here is we're folding from that corner to the front. Okay, literally almost done. Fold all the way to that corner. And then we're just squash folding this. Squash fold that. And then fold this over. Into that pocket. And actually we're folding in here, but it's going all the way in because this flap is pretty big, so that's how we're gonna need to do it. Fold in here, and since it's too big, I don't want to fold it again. So instead of that, we're gonna roll it into there. Okay. Okay, so we're done, basically. Now it's time for the shaping of the F-37 Vigilante. So here we go. This is a pretty hard plane to shape. So we got the nose dome. Cockpit doesn't flip like some planes. Okay, so we got right here, we got this. You have to kind of flip it that way, or you could flip it this way, but I prefer flipping it this way. Oh yeah, ignore that whole mess with the afterburners. We got the landing gear also. So this plane lands. If you want to retract the landing gear, you just tuck them under here and you push that back. Here's our machine guns. You could even put them, you could slide them over here. It'll be on the top of the plane. So those are your machine guns. And you also have to shape these. Okay, so you could shape them however you want. I hope you guys were able to fold this. And shape these too, of course. This is definitely my most detailed plane yet. I hope you had a good time folding this. I hope it was easy, and have a good day.